And our prodigal son returns. Our local hero is back to CSK. A few words on that.
No, obviously, it's a very critical part of every cricketer's life to that you have to venture into the auction and you go professionally in different teams and play. It comes with a value, and obviously people that value at a certain price and certain demands, you have to go up there. But most importantly for me, the learning ground was CSK. That's exactly where I took off from. Learned some valuable lessons, burst onto the scene, and then obviously went on to do much greater things than what I imagined myself. The fact of the matter is we all go through the same circle, we all loop within the same circle. Having gone to different teams and enjoyed the different vibes of different teams, learning new things, but there's nothing really like home. So coming back here was something that was a dream for me. The fact that they did go for me and get me back to the auction, not only is a happy moment for me, but it speaks volumes of the owners and what the city needs.
As fans, we're so glad you're back. Absolutely.
As a young boy, what inspired you to take up cricket? Did you play other sports? Did you ever have your hand in squash?
Yes, I have played a bit of squash, but because of my, I do have a few wiggles on my knee, so it's not the greatest sport if you do have issues with your knee. But because my friend played pivots a lot, I have been very careful with my knee. But I took up the most racket sports, even though I'm not the most blessed in terms of my physical abilities or the lookout of it, or the front of it. I do play racket sports pretty well, starting from tennis to badminton. I played for Tamil Nadu as a ball badminton player as well. So table tennis, mostly I took up the racket sports. I play a bit of football, not very good, but yeah, not bad.
So what made you play cricket?
For me, cricket was something that came very naturally at home, because my dad was a cricket tragic. He used to play a lot of tennis for cricket when he was young, but didn't have the means to be able to pursue a career in cricket. He used to play some league cricket. I used to go with him, watch the games of cricket that he played, and eventually that's how I got pushed into it. I took a fascination to it, watched a lot of cricket on television. Those were the booming days of television. You used to hear a lot of radio commentary on cricket, and television was just going to the early 90s. So for me, watching cricket live on TV was a real spectacle, and that's how I started watching cricket.
When did you actually realize that you wanted to take cricket full time? And more importantly, how difficult is it to make the Indian cricket team?
Look, I think at what stage I realized I could play cricket as a journey by itself. But most importantly, most of my cricketing appetite and learnings came from having played on the streets of Chennai. Unfortunately, today for this generation of kids, there's not much space in the street to be playing. The same street that I grew up on playing is being a parking space today. So, honestly, that's a valuable lesson we used to learn. And every evening at 3:30, 4 o'clock, you would have like heaps of children on the road, like everybody connecting. It used to be like how you guys gather here for the Rotary. It's how we used to gather for the sport every evening on the streets. We have 15, 20 children in a small game in West Bengal. That's how I began playing. At what point did I realize that I was good enough? I got picked for the under 17 Indian team while I was in class 11. Class 12. And I felt like maybe there is some potential here for me to explore. But I did get picked as a batsman. When I came back, I switched over to off-spin. I used to bowl a bit of off-spin, but switched over. And the moment I switched over to off-spin, I started finding that batsmen were finding it difficult to do clean. And that's when I realized maybe I could make it a career as an all-rounder.
It's difficult to have another Ashwin.
Definitely not. We all make the mistake of thinking that we're going to be the best. Like, I'm sure all people sitting here are wonderful businessmen by themselves and within their right. But make no mistake in believing that we won't be the last. There will be people that will surpass us, and that's just the nature of evolution. I really wish to see something. If I don't think like that, then I'm doing a major disservice to the sport that I play and also the person that I am. So I would love for somebody to surpass me and be at least 2 years better than me.
Continuing on that, you said your role models are Anil Kumble and Harbhajan Singh. in cricket. What about outside cricket? Who inspires you? Who motivates you?
Sachin Tendulkar is my role model, and if somebody said the generation I came up from, if somebody said they didn't skip a beat when Sachin batted, that would be a grave mistake. What was this?
Outside cricket?
Yeah, outside cricket. Interestingly, I have a lot of interest in history. I read a lot of it. I became a huge fan. Fortunately, due to COVID, we were all bunkered up inside our houses, and I stumbled upon this wonderful novel called Rumi Inside, which is how I gather a lot of history on teams, how those revolutions were in the past. Because we very often think about the future, live in the day, live in the present, but most of our problems of today have answers in the past. That's how I look at, even when I look